Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now, today's first story comes from No Heron 5186, and it says, "Am I the arsehole for calling the police on my sister? I, 34 female, single mother of 3 girls, 13, 8 and 2, let my sister, 31 female, move in with me 2 months ago, and she stole from me. I'm shaking as I type this up. Let me call my sister Sarah. Sarah lost her job about 4 months ago and got kicked out of her apartment about 2 months ago, and didn't have anywhere to go. Being a big sister, I offered her a place to stay while she figured things out. Being a single mother with no one to turn to, sometimes I felt sorry for her. So I figured I could help her out in this rough patch. I even started helping with daycare fees for her son, who's 3, because I know how tough it can be to make ends meet. Things started out okay, but I started noticing small red flags. First, Sarah's boyfriend, who had only met 3 times, began coming over almost every day while I was at work. I didn't love it, but I thought they both needed support, so I let it slide. I did let Sarah know that I didn't want him coming to my house every day, and he stopped coming for a while. Then one day, he just pops back up. It wasn't long before I noticed other strange things happening. At first, I thought I was tripping. Like little stuff would be moved in my bedroom, or my bathroom would have stuff missing. At first, I thought it was my daughter's, but the stuff that was touched or missing, they either don't use or have their own. So, without telling anyone, I put a camera in my room. I saw Sarah going into my room when I was at work. I confronted her and told her, without letting her know about the camera in my room. I told her I knew she was going in my room, and if she does it again, she was out. She half-assed apologized and we moved on. Well, yesterday when I get home, I noticed my closet door slightly opened. I knew something was off because I never leave my closet door open. As I was looking through my closet, I noticed one of my handbags was missing. Had been saving up about $2,500 for Christmas gifts for my kids in the handbag. It wasn't in an obvious spot either. You would literally have to dig under about 7 other handbags to get to that one. My heart was in my ass? My heart was in my ass because 1, my money is missing, and 2, that is the money for my kids' Christmas, and 3, my sister was nowhere to be found. I knew right then and there Sarah took it. I immediately called Sarah, but she wouldn't answer. I checked security cameras in my room and saw Sarah's thieving ass in my room going through my closet. About 5 minutes later, a boyfriend, let's call him Ryan, came into my room. They had to have picked the lock because I made sure my room was locked before I went to work this morning. They spent 45 minutes in my room going through all my stuff, trying to put it back like it was. I was devastated. I let her move in with me rent-free and bill-free, and this is how she repays me. About 2 hours after I get home, Sarah and Ryan shows back up. I confronted her immediately. At first, she flat out lied and denied it, claiming I was mistaken or that I had misplaced the money. But I didn't back down. I told her I had the entire thing on camera, everything, including her and her boyfriend going through my things. She was caught red-handed. I told her that she had until the end of the day to return the money, or I'd be pressing charges. She started freaking out, saying I was being unreasonable. I really wanted to put my hands on her, but had too much to lose. She even tried to drag our dad and our mum into the situation, calling them to intervene on her behalf, but I wasn't having it. I told them both to stay out of it, that I was handling it my way, and they had no right to defend her when she was clearly in the wrong. And if they want to defend her, they can give me the $2,500 back. That shut them right up. I also told them they didn't have the right to say anything to me about this because they were willing to tell her that their grandchild sleep outside because they are not ready to have a toddler around right now. By 8 p.m, she still hadn't given me the money back and had no choice but to call the police. I filed a report and gave them the footage. By the time police got there, Sarah and Ryan had jumped in his car and left. They're both on the run now, and no one knows where they are. I'm sure she's trying to hide, but I have no idea if they'll even come back or if I'll get my money back. I'm still in shock. I've always tried to help her, and this is how she repays me. I can never trust her again, and right now, I don't even know if I want her in my life anymore. It's one thing to make mistakes, but to steal from family when I've been helping you. It feels like a betrayal on a whole new level. So here I am, dealing with the aftermath. And I'm wondering, should I have handled this differently? I really wanted to hurt her, and the only reason I didn't was because of my daughters. Even though they're not with me, I still don't want to mess up their and my future. I got a call from one of my cousins, and she was telling me that she was on my side, but she also told me that my dad and his wife called her mum trying to talk junk about me, and my auntie shut it down. She apparently told my dad that him and his wife created the monster my sister is because they never said no and gave her any and everything she wanted. I love my aunt for sticking up for me. I'm just trying to process everything, and honestly, I'm struggling to figure out what comes next. So Reddit, am I the arsehole for calling the police on my sister? And there's so much more than the money in this situation. Don't get me wrong, the money's a big thing in this, but she also, after you gave her a free place to stay, she brings around this sketchy boyfriend around your kids. You trusted her in your home, and she and her boyfriend potentially, what you said, pick the locks to your room. And you even paid for a child's daycare, and then she steals money for your children's Christmas. And you have to think there's planning in the background with all this as well. It doesn't just happen. She thought about this. It was calculated. And all of this while living under your roof with your children. Calling the police, as hard as it can be against your family, was the right thing to do. You're protecting yourself and your kids from someone who shows that she'll exploit any kindness that you show her. The top comments with replies from OP says, not the arsehole. Please, for your and your children's safety, change all the locks in your home immediately. Also, I'd post an update to all family and extended family so they don't shield these two. OP says, thank you. My best friend came by that night and changed my locks for me. Majority of my family knows now, and they said if they see them, they're going to call the police. Another commenter says, not the arsehole. They will catch your sister and her boyfriend sooner or later. Just please don't drop the charges when they do. Another commenter says, when people get kicked out of their previous living situation, that is almost always a reason not to invite them in, as your situation shows. Doesn't matter if it's a stranger or your twin sister. You, however, are very much not the arsehole for calling the cops on them. Never let her anywhere near you again. Also, I don't like that she has a boyfriend that can come waltzing into your house. You have kids. The boyfriend is clearly no good either. Don't have people move into your house again that might let shady males in, especially when you have kids. Sorry this happened to you. Don't back down when it comes to the police. Good for you for having it on camera. So OP came in with her update and said, hey everyone, first off I would like to thank everyone for the kind words and support. It really means a lot to me. So again, thank you. To the people saying it's my fault, you can go to hell. That just shows me that you will steal from anyone at any time if given the opportunity. So, for the update. Bear with me. I worked my overnight last night and barely got any rest today because of this situation. So when I got off work this morning, I really didn't feel like going upstairs to my room, so I laid on the couch. Around 10:30, I heard someone at my front door. When I opened the door, it was my sister looking stupid. When I realized who it was, I punched her right in the face. She tried to run, but I grabbed her and pulled her inside of my house. She was alone. I asked her where was my nephew, and she tells me that he is with her childhood best friend. I will call her Alex. I didn't believe her, so I made a call to Alex so I could see, and he was. Thank God he is with Alex because Alex is an angel. I asked my sister where my money was, and she said, gone. I said, I know that, but where did it go? This idiot looked me in the eyes and told me that she and Ryan spent the money DoorDash, going out to eat, and Mary Jane. I just stood there and looked at her. She didn't say anything, and I knew she thought I was going to punch her again because every time I moved, she would flinch. After what felt like hours of me staring at her, I called her a dumb bitch. I told her she needed to explain herself. What pisses me off is she wasn't even looking for the money. She was looking for my handgun. She told me that Ryan had convinced her to go to her old job and get revenge for firing her. I told her she was a dummy for going along with that play. I then asked her why did she get fired because she told us her job had to lay off people due to the drop in business. It's a small business in a local family-owned grocery store. Well, come to find out, her and 4 other employees decided that they didn't want the 15% employee discount they were getting and the $19.50 they were getting paid. They wanted free merchandise and free money from the registers. My jaw hit the floor. Her old employer told her if she paid back the money she took, he would press charges, which I assume he wouldn't press charges. I asked her how much she took, and it was about $690. But I think it was way more. Ryan didn't like the idea of her getting ripped off and came up with this plan. She knew I had a handgun. She didn't know I take it with me everywhere I go because I have my concealed carry license. While she is talking to me, I'm recording the whole time. She then tells me the reason she got kicked out was because she told her landlord that if he didn't let Ryan stay with her and not be on the lease, she was going to get a bunch of people to beat him up. The landlord filed a police report and had her evicted 10 days after. But what really pissed me off is she told me the whole time she was on the run, she never once checked up on her son. She said Ryan doesn't want him around, so that is why she took him to Alex. At that point, I snapped. Everything from her stealing from me to abandoning her son just came out. I've never yelled and cursed at no one like that before. I really let her have it. She started crying, but I couldn't care less. She tried to talk, but I told her to shut the fuck up because I was done with her shit. I told her she was a piss poor excuse for a human being and a mother. I told her that she should be ashamed of herself for what she did to me and how she's treating her son. I told her that I was going to help Alex get custody of her son because she didn't deserve him. She tried to talk, but I wasn't done. I also told her she was going to jail and Brian is too. She really started crying, but again, I couldn't care less. I was yelling so loud I think the neighbors heard me and called the police, which I was going to do anyway. So thank you to my neighbors. When I opened the door and saw it as the police, they asked me, was everybody and everything okay, because they could hear me from the street and my neighbors were concerned. I told them no and explained everything that was going on. Sarah was just sitting there like a deer in headlights and trying to play the victim. She told the police that I gave her the money. I wanted to jump on her right then and there. I told the police that the previous officers had the footage of her and Ryan going through my stuff. One of the officers ran her name and seen she had a warrant for her arrest and put her in handcuffs. They took Sarah outside and were searching her. The police pulled some money out of her pocket and she told them to give it to me. This stupid bitch wanted them to give me $24.76. Yes, I counted it. I told him to keep it because she is going to need it. The police asked her how did she get there, and Sarah said Ryan dropped her off. They asked her where Ryan was, and she said around the corner waiting on her. When one of the officers went to check, the dummy was still there sleeping, so he went to jail also. I called my dad and told him what was going on, and to my surprise he had a change of heart. He told after my aunt read him the riot act, he took everything in and realized we were right. He told me that she is going to pay for what she did. I also told him about my nephew, but he knew that he was with Alex and glad he was with her. I told him about helping Alex get custody of my nephew, and he told me to do what I had to do. The reason I want Alex to get custody is because she is great with my nephew. She loves him and he loves her. He also is happier when he is with Alex. Even when she would visit Sarah, my nephew wouldn't leave Alex's side. She also said if anything happened to my sister, she would take my nephew in with no problems. Sarah's mum is pissed at me, and I will not drop the charges, and I gave the police recording of her telling me the plan she really had because it added more charges. I told her if she was a good mother and raised Sarah right, we wouldn't be going through this. She called me a bitch and hung up. I blocked her. She can deal with Sarah and pay for her lawyers. I will make sure I'm at every court date for Sarah and Ryan if possible. I don't want neither one of them getting out anytime soon. Well, this is my update so far, and if anything else happens, I'll let you all know. Thank you all again for the support and kind words. Someone asks, will OP's children have a Christmas? OP replies saying, my family, such as my mum, aunt and other siblings, and surprisingly my dad, helped me out tremendously. I also picked up as many hours as I can before I get paid again. Top commenters on this one saying, not the arsehole, I can't believe she thought she could get away with all that. Opie did the right thing by calling the cops and getting her and Ryan out of his life. His nephew deserves better. Another commenter says, yikes, what a roller coaster. Seriously not the arsehole. You've managed to juggle everything from family drama to police drama like a pro. It's wild that Sarah tried playing the victim after all that chaos. Good on you for sticking to your guns and protecting your nephew. Sending you all the support for those court dates. You're going to need a gallon of coffee and the patience of a saint. Absolutely 100% OP's right to be pressing charges in this situation. What the sister did and that Ryan guy as well, absolutely knobhead, was calculated, cruel, and could have been much worse given that they were looking for like a gun which is just terrifying. And sometimes, like we've seen in previous stories, that people need to hit rock bottom before any change is made. Imagine most people going, fuck the sister, whatever. Absolutely. I wouldn't blame you for doing so. She's abandoned her child. She's stealing. She's doing all sorts of crazy shit. But in some roundabout way as well, if she does hit that rock bottom, I hope in some way she does get that help. Otherwise, we've got this person still out there somewhere doing absolute batshit crazy things, right? Which is good for no one. But now, I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And let's move on to another story. Now we've got a little bit more Christmas-based drama from the Am I the Arsehole subreddit from Atom, who says, am I the arsehole for telling my mother-in-law not to place her own gift tags on Christmas presents I ordered for my children? So basically, I'd ordered all my children's Christmas presents online to be sent to my in-laws' home, as we're spending Christmas there this year. My mother-in-law said that she didn't mind wrapping them all up before we all got there. We arrived here yesterday and all was well. After the kids got settled in their room, I got a chance to ask her about the presents. She told me that they were mostly all wrapped with just a couple she needed to finish off and that they were stored in their basement. I did ask if she needed a hand finishing the rest off, but she insisted that I should just rest after our journey. So I rejoined my husband in the sitting room. A couple of hours later, she had gone to take a nap, so I went down to their basement to see how many had been wrapped, and like she had said, there was still some left to wrap. But as I was checking some of the bigger presents, I noticed that they already had gift tags taped to them. When I flipped the tags, they read, "From Grandma," on not just one, but on all of the bigger ones, so I immediately went and told my husband about what I just found, and he said that his mum had asked if she could put a few of her tags on as she didn't want to disappoint her grandsons. My husband agreed that she could and told me that it isn't a big deal and this was the only time we'd be spending Christmas over theirs, as they live 4 hours away. I'm mad that most of the bigger presents are things that I had pre-ordered for a long time and put a lot of thought into, and had some toys personalized with their name, which costed a lot of money. Anyway, my mother-in-law came back downstairs from her nap, so I basically told her that I don't think it's right for her to just do that without asking me. Also, she got super upset and told me that I was being selfish and tried guilt-tripping by saying this could be one of the last Christmases she will have. She's old, but not that old. 71. She told me that I'm ruining Christmas already. I don't know. I'm trying my best to appear as nothing is wrong around my kids. I do feel bad and that I may be overreacted. I don't know what to do. Should I leave her tags on and apologize, or put my own tags on and tell her she should have bought more? This is turning into a nightmare. What the bloody hell is going on in this situation? As someone said recently over on our own subreddit, r/marknarrations, my flabbers are absolutely ghasted. Mother-in-law is quite happy to take credit for your thoughtful gift giving, including personalized items. Bloody cheeky so-and-so. She wants to be that super generous grandmother that's given the kids personalized gifts. Well, you don't, because she's taken them. And let's not forget the husband in this. He's equally as guilty. He gave her permission to do so. And then when you're bringing it up, he's saying, it's not a big deal. It is a fucking big deal. And let's just cross off on our bingo card as well. She's saying it's going to be her last Christmas. So she's going with the manipulation tactics as well. Nah, that would be souring the events for me, and I'm not sure I'll be able to hang about after that. I know that might sound like an exaggeration, but for them to do that in the first place is absolutely wild. Agitated Dot says, not the arsehole, she is overstepping here and taking advantage of the situation. Or did she actually get the grandkids? She shouldn't have asked your husband, as we all are well aware she did that just to circumvent you. Clearly you were the one she organized everything to do with the presents with until she decided she wanted to put her name on things. Very deceptive of her, and really shitty that your husband didn't tell you right away, even if he was okay with it. Maybe he should help more with presents overall too. Sudden Pomegranate says, are you joking? Rip those gift tags off and tell mother-in-law she can buy her own gifts if she doesn't want to disappoint them. This is beyond cheeky, so-and-so, and I can guarantee she's rifled through the presents and chosen the biggest, most expensive ones to present from Grandma. Absolutely not. Your husband is a massive arsehole, and the fact that they've discussed this behind your back is downright manipulative. I'm actually so angry on your behalf. And one more comment which just says, not the arsehole. What a lousy arsehole move. She knew you'd be upset and sneakily told you it's all fine and ready, so you'll find out when it was too late. You don't want to disappoint your grandsons. Well, how about saving for their big presents instead of leeching from mum and making her look bad in front of her kids? I just can't understand how people feel so entitled to even suggest such a horrible request by knowing they are making someone else the fall for their lack of preparedness and laziness. You should put your own tags and let her take the fall as she should. Holy moly, what? Imagine yourself in that situation and someone done that to you. How would you feel about it? That's mad. It's just craziness, isn't it? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being involved. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Take care and much love.